Okay, I would entertain a motion to go back into the regular meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. I think in the best interest of the patrons of the town of Kiowa.
What's our next agenda item? What's the next agenda?
Oh, new business.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. In the best interest of our citizens, that, we don't think that KWWA has their best interest at heart. And I think that we need to discuss that a little bit and find out what all the rest of the board members think about that.
I too would like to express some concern and think that we should take appropriate steps to protect the town and the interest of its citizens.
Some of the issues I have, and I hate to blame them, but I'm gonna blame them. KWWA has been very rude to not only the town employees, which is also their employees, but to fellow board members. There seems to be a lot of angst among that board that has not happened previously. And I'm very concerned about full disclosure to a lot of the residents. They talk about this grant that they've got, and then they want to push increasing rates. Well, have they divulged to the public that there is a 70% or $700,000 match for that grant? I have not heard them disclose that to anyone in a public meeting. I just have some real concerns of the direction they're going, and I don't believe it's in the best interest of our residents.
It's interesting to me, and I've been in and out, and for some time I've been able to observe stuff, whether it be on Zoom or maybe in person, and I realize I haven't been in person enough. But just the overall temper between that organization and us, you could tell that, and I don't know what's happened since basically the first of the year. And it really goes back farther than that, but our relations and our operations agreement, if you will, and our relationships with them has eroded, and I feel it's kind of run astray. And I'm not exactly sure what's driving that. At the same time, you watch the way those meetings are held in a public meeting, you can tell that even inside that organization that there's a divisive split.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we gotta look out for, our citizens, residents of this town, of Kiowa proper. And that is, to me, that is very important. And there's some things are on the horizon, it appears, with KWWA, because I did read the public notice. And, that's, I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with what's driving it. I haven't figured out how all the actors have their roles with that. But they're, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it might be a duck. And so that's my thoughts on it. We passed an ordinance. At the end of the day, and I think this is part of where that real disconnect happened, was when we passed the ordinance. rescinding all of our agreements. And we said, we've done this, and because we no longer have a developers agreement, you don't need to have a developer on the water board. In a sense, they thumbed their nose at us. And now, now they don't even wanna work with us.
Yeah, I miss it when, I mean, there was discussions had, and some heated discussions about, the way they do things, the way we do things and this and that, but at least we could talk. At least we could figure things out, at least we could have special meetings, but, man, I tell you, it just seems like, the lines of communication are not as open as they once were. I'm not happy with the way, the direction that the water board is going.
I agree. I'm a new board member, but I've been attending meetings as a citizen and then coming on to the board a couple of months ago, and I am surprised at how much that we don't work together and how the KWWA seems to disregard anything that represents the town's people. And that has been my concern for the last couple of years, and that's why I started attending meetings here just on this board, and then I was the planning commission, I listened in on some of those, but only recently have I listened to the KWA ones, and I'm surprised that they have not even, the last meeting they were talking about raising their rates. And that concerns me because of the citizens. We have a huge elderly population here in town. And I've even seen some other people, maybe in their sixties, and yeah, I guess you could say that was elderly too, coming,
Whoa.
and I'm right next to Echo. And Echo, it helps the county citizens with any bills that they are not able to pay. And so I have seen them in there saying, hey, I need help paying my water, I need help paying my electricity, that sort of thing. So I'm concerned with that myself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was the only reason I wanted to make a difference.
I think. I'm just gonna call it, I think the underlying issue, it appears to me when you watch their meetings, attend their meetings, go through everything, is that the catalyst is, especially if you listen to Laura Brown's comments. And Laurel's one of the sharpest people I know. But when she's calling out a board member and saying, I wanna know what's going on here. I wanna know what's going on with you and whatever the scenario is. And that same board member is the one that's not signing the whatever the disclosures are, the conflicts of interest. When, he's pushing a company to oversee all this deal. And there's some dots to be connected there. But
Yeah, that concerns me.
I think honestly, we have formally said. You don't represent us, you don't represent the town of Kiowa, and because of a rescinded developers agreement that is null and void. You do not have a place on the board. So I don't know from that, if I move forward with the motion, but I do think that, that's. We probably ought to move forward. I don't know how to, maybe Terry knows how she wants to say something like that, but we probably need to address it maybe with a little firmer tone. That we suggested it, we suggested that this guy's not eligible for the board.
Now, just be clear out, strict with it,
I'd like the motion that we, direct outside counsel to take steps necessary to disqualify Tim Pratt from the KWWA board.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
You just did.
Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith. Mayor Colm,
Aye.
trustee Howard,
Aye.
trustee Hart,
I,
trustee Schaefer,
Aye.
trustee Wyman.
Aye.
It's
Okay,
unanimous.
we have a motion and it's been approved.
Okay,
Okay, so, do we have any other discussion items for the evening?
I believe trustee Howard has her hand raised.
Okay, last meeting we were directors, now we're trustees. What are we?
You're trustees.
For trustees.
Okay.
I'm keeping you on your toes.
I would
Don't even go there, Director Hart.
entertain a motion, please, to adjourn.
So,
We have a motion at 8:47.
Who's the?
Do we have a second?
second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you very much for your discussion items. You did a good job.